that you choose us. Here is your home, and we are privileged to be part of the land here. So welcome and thank you for that.
My name is Manny Jules. I'm from the community right across the river, Kamloops. I was a former council member and a chief. I was a council member for 10 years and a chief of Kamloops for 16 years. So I proudly served my community. A long-term employee of mine was Ukrainian, Ken Skopik.
Oh yeah.
From Saskatchewan. He helped with the other church just up on 8th Avenue. And so, as was mentioned, we signed this protocol, a sacred covenant with the Catholic Church last year at Easter. And it's written in English and in Chinook. Chinook, we had a trade language here which facilitated trade from traditional times to the modern times. And we've got the wild rose, we've got the Archdiocese of Vancouver, the local diocese of Kamloops and my community's seal, and we've got the white arrow of peace here as well, and an eagle feather. And so this was to commemorate our working relationship with the Catholic Church. So that we would be able to, as they say during Easter, light 1,000 candles. And we want to be able to work with all of the dioceses across this country. And those three gentlemen, the individual standing is Chief Louis. He was chief from 1850 till he passed away in 1915. He was chief for 65 years. Seated with the cowboy hat is Chief Johnny Chalhitsa. He was a hereditary chief of the Okanagan. And seated to over here is Father Lejeune, a Catholic priest. He knew all of the 5 languages in the interior of British Columbia. He could speak all of the dialects. He was not only a priest, but he also was the doctor. So he'd always carry a medicine bag with him. And this trip, this picture is taken in the Rose Garden at the Vatican in 1904. So my community raised an equivalent of $70,000 in 1904 for these 3 gentlemen to travel from Kamloops right across Canada to Ottawa, to Montreal, and catch a steamer ship to Liverpool, but there weren't any Beatles yet, so they went on to London. Then they went to where Father Lejeune is from in Brittany, in France, northern France, and they had a sweat lodge there, a spiritual bath. And all these kids came around and wouldn't let them come out of the sweat lodge. So the priest had to come and shoo away all the people because they were wondering who these people were. And Father Lejeune always had to tell people, these are North American native people, because they didn't know what kind of people we were. They ultimately went to Paris, Lourdes, and then to Paris, to the City of Lights. Chief Louis went up to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Chief Johnny Chalhitsa was too afraid. He thought that it would just fall apart. On the train ride, it took them about a week from Kamloops to get to Montreal. And the first meal they had, just like this, was a feast. Chief Louis was eating, and he turned to Father Lejeune and Johnny Chalhitsa, and he said, I'm a big chief now. I want to eat like this all the time, because they had all the utensils. So those 3 formed a partnership. At that time, there was unity between the Catholic Church and First Nations in our struggle to resolve the land question. And that's why I'm here today. I want to recognize your struggle in your homelands, because it affected me deeply, and it still does to this day. It's important that we always support one another in times of need. It took me a little bit of time, but I'm here now. And I want you to know from my heart that I'm with you on your journey, your difficult journey. And I want you to know that First Nations always treasured, I forget what the kerchief is called.
Bushka.
The bushka. We adopted that as one of our national dress. My granny wore a bushka all her life. I've always been a pierogi fan. You can tell. So I love the food. I love the people. As I mentioned, Ken Skopik worked for me for just about 25 years. And I wanted to show, I didn't expect to come in an occasion like this, but I wanted to show my support. And what I've done is I've painted. I'm not a singer like my brother, but I wanted to paint for you a drum of the Ukrainian flag colors. I call it my hand drum. Hands, drumsticks, reaching out to one another, knowing that we're here to lift one another up, lift up each other's spirit, knowing that there's darkness all around us, but the hands are lit because we all reflect each other's goodness. And that's from our Creator. Being able to reflect the goodness that's in our hearts, reflected in our hands. Because when you shake somebody's hand, that means something. You're not having to raise fist with them. And that's what I'm here to do today, is lift my hands up to each and every one of you and your families back home, and letting them know, and you know, that I'm here to support you in your time of need. It's a symbolic support. That's all I can offer. I'm too old to go fight. But I'm truly honored by this, and I'm glad that you're going to accept this drum as a token of our friendship.
And it's just beginning, it's not the end, and you're always welcome for pierogies and more, and just to be together and journey together in our struggles and support for each other. Thank you.